How's it going? Big Gumbo here. I'm gonna hit up 3 different thrift stores and I'm gonna take you along, show you what I get. Stopped in my local Goodwill, only got one thing. Paid $10.20 for these shoes here. These are skate shoes, they're Circas. It's a brand which I believe went out of business. Skate shoes are good to look into, especially the vintage ones. These ones aren't technically vintage, but the early 2000s. You can tell an older skate shoe by the size of it. It's puffy. It's gonna have a super puffy tongue, fat laces. These ones are mid tops, so they come up a little higher. Another thing you want to look out for in skate shoes, like vintage ones, is if there's a pro's name on the tongue. These ones don't have a pro's name on the tongue, so they're not going to go for as much money. For example, Circa, if you can find Chad Muska ones from I believe the early 2000s, those ones you're going to get over $100 for. They'll look similar to these. They'll probably be leather and maybe louder colors. These ones I expect to get between 30 and 60 for. Just I personally I've skateboarded for 20 years. Skateboard fashion's really cyclical, so whatever was cool 15 years ago, 20 years ago comes back around and becomes cool again. So these are, like I said, you can use puffy skate shoes as a tag when you sell big skate shoes. Vans are good to look for, Americas, Fallens, Lakai. Just Google skate shoe brands. Oh, I almost forgot to mention Osiris's. Osiris is a skate brand that also went out of business. Super popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. If you can find Osiris D3s, they're instantly recognizable. They're these huge alien looking shoes. I'll pop up a picture of them here. Those ones are, there's barely any of them listed of the original ones, and anytime you list one, that's gonna sell really quickly. These are super popular right now, and I think they actually re-released them, which is unfortunate because the original ones, the value went down. They used to be around like $500 to buy the used ones, but now you can, it's guaranteed, depending on the colorway, anywhere between $60 and like $250. Like I said, these ones are puffy. More modern skate shoes are gonna be kind of a slimmer silhouette. Even the ones with laces will pretty much be like this with some laces on them. That's what's been more in style, but bigger shoes are starting to come back. But also for vintage skate shoes, if you can find Vans, they'll look more like this, probably from like the 70s, 60s. I think they started in like 1966. If you can find Vans that are, they'll say made in the USA right here, and they'll say made in the USA here. See, like these ones have removable insoles. That's one way you know they're new. All the older Vans don't have removable insoles. Just anytime you see the old school ones, the ones that look like this but with laces, just check the back to see if they were made in the USA. Because I've sold 2 pairs for over $100 that were made in the USA. The ones that look like that have laces are called Authentics. So you'll just type in Vans Authentics Vintage, or they also have the Vans slip-ons like I have here, which are vintage. And they're not going to be suede like these ones. They'll be canvas, but like a nice thick canvas. The best slip-ons to sell that are vintage are the checkered ones. Those ones got popular because of that movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What's the guy's name? The surfer dude in that movie. He wore those, and that was like when those shoes became super popular among people that don't skateboard. So yeah, those are really good to get. Puffy ones are good to get. Audio is another brand of skate shoes that I forgot to mention here in the car. Mainly what you're looking for with these skate shoes that I keep talking about is the nostalgia of it. So companies like Audio that went out of business. I don't know if you remember, but there was a show called Viva La Bam on MTV. This guy named Bam Margera was sponsored by Audio, and they became a really popular company, but they eventually went out of business. But skateboarders still have a lot of nostalgia for Audio. And also each one of these skateboard shoes, there was all these videos and all these paraphernalia that went along with it, and all of this stuff can be worth good money on eBay. All right, just got out of another thrift store. not so great. I was trying to spend $20 because if I spend $20 there, I've built up enough points to where I get $10 off. But I couldn't find enough stuff. We got some Prana, like yoga capris. Some Prana stuff is good to get, some's not so great. A lot of the women's capris, it looked like weren't selling that well for around $15 maybe. I eventually found sold comps for this exact one, and one of them sold for $30 plus shipping, another $25 plus shipping. We paid $4.99 for these. I almost had to pay $5.99, but I was able to convince the guy that capris are technically shorts because they expose some of the leg. We got some Amphibian shorts, $4.99 for those as well. Those are selling for $20 all day. They've got like a 3x sell-through rate. The sell-through rate on Prana capris is only like, I think it was like 50 or 60%. So I might price them lower to try to be more competitive. For these, I should be able to price them at around $22 free shipping, and they should sell within the next 3 months. Maybe I'll do 20 because it might start cooling down within the next 3 months, so we'll see. All right, next thrift store. We are in Placerville, California at the Snowline Hospice thrift store. It's my least favorite place that's near me. The people up here in the area, it's like, what's that movie where the guy goes, squeal like a pig? What's that movie? You know? It's like that up here. Found some kind of dingy Lululemon leggings. I debated whether or not to get them, but I had points to use. So if I spend over 20 bucks, I get 10 bucks off. Somehow this all came to 26 originally and then dropped down to 16. So not a bad deal for 16. But okay, some Lululemon leggings. What I've been realizing with Lululemon is that if they have lint on them, it's impossible to get the lint off. So those have a little bit of lint, and that's kind of annoying. Got some men's Teva hiking shoes. These are in really good condition. They got Vibram soles. Pretty good find. Sold similar ones for around 30 before. I didn't check out the comps, but they're good size too. 10.5 men's. Sometimes you might find that the rubber around the outsole, or sorry, that's the midsole. On the midsole of the shoe kind of turns gray on some. I figured out that the best thing to do is not trying to wipe it off with a wet rag, but you get either a toothbrush or a dry rag and get it off with that, or even take a razor blade and scrape it off with that. Once you get it wet, it'll disappear for a second, and as soon as the water evaporates, it'll come back. You gotta do it when it's dry. And those have a little bit of that, so I gotta fix that. I wouldn't have picked these up if it weren't for the deal. They're just LL Bean clogs, like nursing type shoes. Oh crap, yeah, they got some wear on the heel. That was a mistake. I didn't even see that. Yeah, I don't love this brand. But they're basically free, so this is a new brand for me. Never heard of this. 100% sell-through rate. They're called Sanuk or Sonuk. I think it's Sanuk. S-A-N-U-K. They're like surfer shoes. They look pretty dingy, right? But I looked them up and it looks like you can get about 25-30 bucks for these with 100% sell-through rate. And they all kind of look like this, so I'm gonna try it out. Let you know how it goes. Good size 9. I'm a size 9, so maybe I'll try them on. That's all we got there. Oh, I had a quick update about maybe a day or two ago. I told you to sell HP ink. Well, I've been selling HP printer ink on eBay for like 2 years now, more than 2 years. And today, or last night, I got a Vero. So basically, Hewlett Packard contacted eBay and told them to take my listing down. Usually when that happens, you get kicked off eBay for 3 days. 3 to 7 days, I believe, for Veros. And last Vero I got kicked off eBay, but this time they didn't kick me off. But I took down all my other inks that were listed. And from now on, I'm not going to sell HP products. And I suggest that you do the same, because too risky. I mean, I'm only making 10 bucks on each of them, so. All right, I'm gonna go to a Goodwill that's up here, even deeper into the hills. This is like the hills have eyes up here. No offense if you live in Placerville. And I'm just gonna hit that Goodwill, then I gotta go down to my girlfriend's mom's house and help her move a table. And that'll be it. Bye. Never mind, I'm not going to the Goodwill. I'm going out to dinner. So, that's it for today.